Hi and welcome back to Chop's Garage, the real life car trading channel. Now if you're a regular viewer you'll know this car. I recently drove it back from up country after doing a G3 auctions video with a few of the other YouTuber lads. I bought it from a subscriber, I drove it all the way back here. Now at the time I didn't actually know who I was going to sell this to because it's got quite a high retail value. It's 12,000 Auto Trader recommended because it's a 7,000 mile automatic Aygo on a 70 plate. But when I got back here, I remembered that the guys at Moore's, the garage I used, had rung me about a lady that was looking for an auto around about the £10,000 mark. Took it down to her, and she said she'd like it, and I let her have it at 11. So she's got £1,000 off for Auto Trader recommended. Big old discount. Now, her problem with it was, some of you might have already spotted what's changed with this car. Her problem with the car was she did not like the red bits on it. So it had red bit down on the front grille there, a red bit round the back, and red wing mirror caps. And she said, is there anything we can do about that? Mirror caps were painted, but I pulled those off and I gave them the coat of the old gloss black and then some lacquer. They've come out really nicely. And the car is ready to go bar a valet. The chap that's buying the Aygo just rang me and said, we're all set for when the pickup's going to be. He said, I've got a couple of things that are a bit strange about the car. I'm like, what's that? He says, check the MOT. Last MOT, it failed on brake discs, but then 2 days later it passed without anything on it. I'm like, okay, what's strange about it? He says, well, did they do the brake discs or not? He said, oh, when it was 3 years old, it should have an MOT, but it didn't have an MOT straight away. I'm like, okay, why was that? I said, well, I don't know. I didn't own the car. It's 2020. I didn't own it, you know, when it was due its MOT. I own it now. Really know what difference any of it makes. Because you test driven the car, you look around the car, it's got a clean HPI report. I'm providing you with a clean HPI report. I have just had a message from the people who bought the Aygo. So back in Monday morning, got to get the Audi straight down for its MOT overnight. So that's the first thing. Quite a lot running around to do today because I'm going to go up to the Car Dealer Awards in London. Joe is up for social media, I think. Theo's up for small dealer. From Bowen's is up for small dealer. I think, is Jamie Capel from Car Key up for something as well? Quite a few people are sort of nominated, so we'll see if anyone wins anything. But obviously it's just an excuse for a big booze up. And maybe meet Mike Brewer again, he hosts it. So yeah, we've got quite a lot of running around to do. So we need to get this one down. We need to get the... I've got a van that I got from a subscriber as well. I need to get back from its MOT so that PT can get on to fix that ready for its MOT. And I've got to take down the i30 to get that back in for its retest. So yeah, a lot running around so that I'm not late to pick up Mrs. Chops, who will want lots of time to get all tied up. So this is a weird one. I've just picked the van up. Hazard light, so doing all kinds of funny. If you hit the hazard light, you can hear that relay clicking behind the dashboard. Bit slow. Knock it off and they stay off. But if I just kind of like, what was I doing? I was just moving around the van and they just start to come back on their own again. Just going to flatten the battery if they do that, isn't it? Really weird, not had that before. I thought it was just going to be a dodgy hazard switch, but probably still is, I guess. I don't know how you get it out of this because all that looks like it's all in one piece around there. Hopefully that's something you can get out relatively easy. But yeah, this is the van. It's a 124,000 mile Transit Connect. Is that setting it off? No. 124,000 mile Transit Connect on a 2007. This was a Torrington Town Council car van. I think pretty much all of its life. The guy that sold it to me is a subscriber. And I think he said he'd been driving it for the council for the last 7 or 8 years. He knows he's had 2 cam belts, that kind of thing. The reason I've got it is because he came and took away my bike, the cheaper Chinese bike that I didn't really get on with. And he said, well, I trade bikes, so I'll be happy to swap the van for the bike. And I thought it'd be easier for me to sell the van, to be honest, than the motorbike. So we just stuck it down for an MOT. It has failed on a CV boot. I can't remember what else it was. Nothing major. Quite a few advisories, but I don't think I'd do them all on a vehicle this age and value. Wouldn't be worth it. What we're going to do is get a fresh MOT on it and sell it as it is. I don't need to get an awful lot back to cover that bike. It was a cheap Chinese bike. So yeah, hopefully that works out for everyone. He can sell the bike. I think he's already sold the bike actually. And I can sell the van. And if what everybody tells me is true about vans, the person that comes on to buy it won't be fussy and it'll sell really quickly. So we'll see if that proves to be true or not. So I'm being chauffeured up to the dealer awards, and I have just had a message from the people who bought the Aygo. I'll probably put it on the screen now, to say that they're pulling out of the sale. So after having me take it down to them, so they didn't have to come up to mine, test drive it, ring me up, ask me all the questions about the old MOTs and everything else, get me to recolor all the red bits black. They've decided now at this point that it's not the right car for them. So I will be keeping their £300 deposit, as I told them at the time I would be if they pulled out the sale. So at least I can put it up for its full retail price now, rather than the massively discounted one I did. So that's the silver lining to the cloud. But yeah, once again, this is the kind of thing we have to deal with all the time, guys, which is why you can find some car dealers a little hardened and a little frosty. So we've made it back from the big smoke. Well done to Mr. Chops for navigating mental London traffic back and forth. Great night out, fantastic to see Joe rightly win the Use of Social Media award. It was great. Great to catch up with everybody else as well, and have a few drinks and have a chat, like a little bit of an early Christmas do. So back to reality now. I've got to get back to the unit now, get the Aygo cleaned up, get it out for sale at its full retail value, and hope the rest of the general public likes Aygos without red bits on. And I've got a lot of other stock to get prepped as well. But tomorrow I'm popping up to Bowen's garage to see Theo, who was there last night as well, and pick up a Ford Fiesta. So I'll do a bit of recording when I get up there as well, have a look around Theo's setup. Don't forget, if you potentially like to win the ultimate Christmas present, the raffle for the Fiat Barchetta or the Toyota MR2 or £5,000 cash is still ongoing. I'll put a link in the video description down below, and when you're into the raffle you will be helping Sophie's Legacy, the charity that helps children in hospital. I'm off to find a car with softer suspension. See you on the next video.